Hello, how goes it? My name is Amby, and welcome to Ambysco, and today you are watching the 5th episode of my series here on the Minesomnia SMP server. I've got a great episode lined up for you today, but first I wanted to give you a few updates on the changes I've made to the Pigman farm, because it is now working almost 100% correctly. I did have to move Joe out there on that slab behind me closer by one block than what the tutorial said to have it, or maybe not the tutorial but the world download. I'm not sure why. You might not have to. Just keep that in mind if your farm wasn't working. Also, I forgot to use a sticky piston down under me in the direction that my skin is looking, somewhere over here. Ooh, something like that. And I used a regular piston, and that was making the sword voiding system not work. So if you build this farm on your own using the tutorial that I linked in the episode from when we built this farm, just keep those things in mind. I also have not yet put in the wither rows down here, so occasionally I get baby zombie piglins that get stuck and kill me and waste 280 something levels like I lost the other day. Well, that was weird. Whoa, that is really weird. Yeah, it let me jump with the rocket, but it didn't give me any horizontal momentum until I hit space again. I've never had that happen before. Really odd. But anyway, yeah, so the farm is working. We are all good on the farm except for the wither rows that I still need to get. And I just want to come show you over at the base the loot that I've gotten from the farm, because I've done pretty well so far with only a little bit of AFK time. I mean, I'm definitely under a full day worth of AFK time, well under, probably only close to like 8 hours. And a lot of the loot was voided because I did not have enough storage set up, and I still have not set up more storage. So I just wanted to show you all the loot, and I've got a ton of gravel, a ton of soul sand, a bunch of nether bricks, and then these were all compressed from the individual bricks. So this is, imagine, like 12 more stacks of the individual bricks, ton of crying obsidian, leather, magma creams, ender pearls, string, and then this wool is compressed string, so imagine like 8 more stacks of string instead. And then a ton of Soul Speed 3 books. Some of these have been made by combining Soul Speed 2 and Soul Speed 1 books, but still, there were some that dropped as Soul Speed 3. A bunch of fire charges, ton of glowstone, and a lot of nether quartz. And then finally, I've got over 5.5 stacks of gold blocks, as well as probably about 2 stacks of iron ingots. And the other 2.5 stacks of gold blocks, or 3 stacks of gold blocks, something like that, are not here at the base. They are over in the shopping district, and when we head over to the shopping district, I will explain why it's over there. It'll make a little bit more sense once we're there. I also have removed any of the torch-based lighting in the base, except for the ones that are down in the unfinished portion down here, and I swapped it all to lanterns. I will probably change out a lot of these lanterns for hidden lighting at some point, but they're better than the torches on the ground. The torches on the ground are awful, so at least I've got something reasonable. I'm probably going to put, glowstone in the ceiling and hidden in the floor under carpets, that kind of thing, but I just haven't been able to get around to it yet, except for the glowstone that is hidden behind these pillars, behind these chests here. You can barely see it, as well as the glowstone that currently is totally inactive because it's behind these shulkers. But when the shulkers are gone, when I manage to organize this all into the chest system, then the glowstone back here will be sort of hidden. Not really all that hidden, but better than these lanterns that are like spewed everywhere around the base. So let's head over to the shopping district now and talk about the gold ingots, or rather the gold blocks that are over there. Now, I said about 2.5 stacks of gold blocks are over there, and why I needed that many is because I've got a tier 4 beacon over there. We made a beacon with the nether star that I got over in like episode 4, I think it was, with the nether raid. I think that was episode 4. And the beacon is now set up in the shopping district for me temporarily. I'll probably move it back to our base eventually, or move it wherever I need it. But for now, it's set up there with haste 2 so that we can build our first shop. Now, I know I haven't really talked about the plan for the shop much. I teased it a little bit, but that teaser that I had in earlier episodes where I was talking about, you know, like the things that it's connected to with my name and whatever, it's not that anymore. I do still have that shop and project planned for later. I just decided that this would be a little bit more of a relevant shop to build at this point in the season. What is this? Oh, this is new. I can't show this off yet, I don't think. I don't think I'm allowed to. The front of that, but that's new from the last time we were over here. That is Scorpio's shop. I'm not 100% sure what he's actually going to be selling, but I have an idea of it. I just can't talk about it too much, I don't think. But here is the area for our shop right here. This is kind of, I started digging it out. I'm probably going to finish a little bit of the digging later. And what the shop is going to be is it's going to be an underground mall. An underground mall. And I know it sounds kind of like, oh, wow, an underground mall. You know, how's that going to work? But this is just the footprint for the above ground portion of the mall. There will be a lot of hallways and shops in the mall underground underneath the shopping district, kind of spreading around in all directions. The reason I wanted to build a mall is because I'm not so good at these like fancy exterior buildings, and I want to put all my shops kind of in one central location. So when I build a mall, I can just put the front facade of the shop as the design for the shop, and like also design the interior, which is fine as well. But it kind of saves from having to design as much of this exterior, makes it a little bit easier to do for my kind of design style. And I also just like the concept of a mall. So not only are there going to be shops that are mine, I'm also going to sell and rent space for other shops inside the mall. So if somebody wants to put a pop-up shop up or something along those lines, they will be able to rent or buy a store inside of the mall to put their shop in. And I think that's going to be really helpful because it'll allow people to get like quick shops for small things. Like, you know, the slime hut over there, if there had been a mall, it could have very easily gone inside of a store in the mall because it's really only selling like one item. So if somebody didn't feel like building a shop for one singular item, they could just simply put it in the mall. Real easy, makes it easier for people to kind of diversify in the things they're selling. Like a lot of people I know have tons of items that people need, but they're not selling them in a store because it's just a lot of work to build up a store from scratch to sell one item when that's not really what you want to focus on. So I think it'll be really helpful to have. And I've just got the beacon here with haste 2 so that it makes it easier to mine all this out. And I did this portion by hand, but now that I've got, I think, 5 blocks down here, we're going to finish off some of it with a little bit of some TNT fun. So let me go grab the stuff. I got to go head back to our base, grab the stuff, and I will do a quick tutorial on how to set up a TNT Duper. And we're going to use that to mine out really deep here because I've got some plans for what we're going to put under the mall that I'm probably going to save talking about for another episode. But the mall is going to be probably only one floor for now. It'll be the top entrance, and then like 15-20 blocks down will be the first floor of the mall. So, but I do want to have this pit go all the way down to bedrock for some future plans, and that's a lot of mining. So at least for most of the top section, we're going to be using a lot of TNT. So let me go get that set up so that I can show you guys how to build a TNT duper, and I will be right back once I have all of the stuff ready to show you. Alright, so I have returned to the shopping district with all the stuff that I need, and that stuff is a lever, a piston, 2 building blocks, a detector rail, 6 slime blocks, a TNT, a birch fence, a dead coral, it doesn't matter what kind, and a minecart. And we're just going to go up in the air a little bit above the pit here. I guess pit's the right word. I was thinking about, sorry about that long pause. I was like, what is the word? But I guess pit works. And then we are going to just move a little bit into the middle like this. And you want to be maybe, you know, like 10 blocks above the ground. 10 blocks is probably fine. And I think that I'm probably like 11 or something. As long as you're at least 10 blocks off the ground, you're probably fine. Then you're going to want to take all the stuff you need and keep a pickaxe out so that you can break one of those blocks. You're just going to pull all this out, and we're going to start building the TNT Duper. It's just a slime block there, a slime block here, one there, a dead coral on the front, TNT right here, a fence or a wall or something like that right there. Then next to the fence, you're going to place another block, one more out, one up. On top of this one, you're going to put a detector rail, and you got to make sure it's facing this block. Then a minecart. Well, if I could manage to get on top. There we go. A minecart on the detector rail. Then from this top block here, you're going to go 2 blocks out. Break the first one. Place a piston, not facing up, but facing towards the slime block. And great. Well, I dropped a block. Fine, I have extras. And I place one there as well so that I can actually get in the right spot to place the piston. And then on that final block, you're going to put a lever. And then we're going to get a place out here to stand. Oops. Oh, man. Drop that slime block. We're going to need that. Hold on. Oh, I can't believe I dropped that. This pick is very fast with the beacon as well. But it's okay, because I needed to get down here anyway to break some of these blocks. You want to make sure there's no blocks underneath the contraption. Otherwise they may cause the contraption itself to blow up. Alright. Get up on top. Come on. Okay. Oh no, I fell. I was holding shift. Elytras have been acting weird on the server. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. You're watching me struggle. Like, pure struggle. Okay, there we go. Let me eat. Oh, I don't have any food? Oh, man. Okay. I must have left that back at home. Yeah, so this will work the way it is. And I would want to break some of these. So, I mean, like, technically it's fine. The TNT is obviously not going to land on those. But, just in case. And you want to make sure there's no builds really close, because this might launch the TNT a little bit further in that direction or far in that direction. So if there's any builds like really close, try to put up like an obsidian or at least a stone wall so that they don't get blown up. But it shouldn't launch it further than like the grass here. So the worst you'll have to do is fix the grass. So just keep that in mind. That way you don't damage anything. And then, oh, oops. This should be a sticky piston. Oops. I was like, why isn't that working? Also, I forgot to replace this slime block. So let's grab, we're going to need more slime anyway for some other stuff that I want to work on. So let's go grab this ender chest, put it down for a second, and get a diamond. And then I will head over to the slime shop to grab a piece of slime to put on that piston. I don't know how I forgot about that. I made another piston. I have slime back at the base, but that's so far away. And I need the slime anyway. We should get a slime farm going, because slime is kind of expensive right now. It's only 32 for a diamond. If it were 64 for a diamond, I probably wouldn't bother making my own slime farm. But I don't have the diamonds to spend right now. I've only got like, I don't know what it was, maybe 25 diamonds left. Whatever it was, you saw it when I just took one out of the ender chest. I also don't have any food, evidently. Yeah, no food. So might have to spend another diamond on some food from Bantha's Burgers, because I really don't want to die of fall damage because I haven't been eating at all. So let's grab some burgers. I think they are a much better price now. Yeah, 1 diamond for 64. That's pretty good. That should last us quite a long time. All right, now we can finally make this all work if I can manage to land in the right spot. There we go. Let's just throw a slime ball on the top of this piston, or the front, whatever you want to call it, and get that placed. Now this should all work. It should just create an infinite amount of TNT, basically. What is that on the ground? Oh, is that the detector rail? Oh, yeah, I'm going to need that. Wait, where'd the minecart go? Oh, on the ground. Okay. Yeah, make sure that if you do the same thing I do, or did, and almost lose the detector rail, that you know, place it again. because otherwise this whole thing is also not going to work. Now it should all be good. See? There we go. And if I just keep doing this, we got to be a little careful, because as you can see, if you do a lot of them really quickly, you might actually have them kind of like blowing back out of the hole. But once you get a little further down, you can just kind of spam them, like I started at the beginning, like this, because they shouldn't bounce up too far. But you do just want to be careful so they don't accidentally blow somebody's stuff up. And if I just go like this now and just keep spamming it, they should go all the way down into the ground, all the way down to bedrock. And this should speed up the mining for this entire thing a ton. You can also automate these with flying machines to go in a straight line or to go in like a 2x2 area. And you can use these in a tunnel bore, which is basically a thing that makes a tunnel. There we go, you just saw one, and it's actually done that twice now where it launches it pretty far. So you just got to be careful about that. Now, I know with this design, if it's going to launch it, most of the time it's going to launch it in that direction, which is why I don't have to worry about the iron golem there. It is possible to launch it the other way, but very unlikely, and also it doesn't go nearly as far. It mostly just gets pushed kind of left, like you see every once in a while. This is technically a one-directional TNT duper, so it should only dupe when you go to the right, but I think it's kind of bugged in 1.16 where it sometimes does both directions. Not 100% sure. I'm not like a TNT duping expert or anything. Now, there is a minimum distance that you can be from the bottom, or like a maximum distance, but we are not there yet. You can see there are still blocks blowing up when we get down there. And it will go pretty far down. Yeah, this one went all the way to bedrock. You will have to manually remove things like lava and that kind of stuff because they may not, or they may block your TNT from actually doing any damage. But now that we are that far down, I'm actually going to use the existing piston to move this all like a block and then break the piston. Now, if I had more pistons, which I forgot to bring one, you could just do this really quickly by just adding another piston to this whole setup that just pushes it, like a one, like with no observers, like a kind of like a flying machine, a manual flying machine, so that you can just push it and it'll move once in the direction, pull the pushing piston again, and get this whole thing working. And I might set that up again, but just for this easy tutorial type of thing for this episode, I didn't want to do that. And you can just go one block over, you could go 2 blocks over. But basically, I'm just going to get at this for a little bit of time, get all of this area mined out down to the bedrock, and then I will come back. Okay, so I haven't actually finished this yet. Actually, I've made almost no progress. I did fall down the hole and found some diamonds, so I mined those. But I added on a few extra blocks here to allow me to move it easier in that direction. And then when I get that way, all the way, I will just flip it around and go the other way. Same thing. I will not bother making a full flying machine for this. It's easy enough to just rebuild it and make it go the direction I need it to, or to push it over with a regular non-sticky piston a few blocks just to get it to do what I want it to. But I did add a regular piston facing in that way, as well as 2 slime blocks and a sticky piston facing that way, which lets me use some disposable levers and stone buttons and place them here and here to do a few different things, like push it over a block with this button, and then with this button here I can then move over that entire thing. It will break the lever and the button, but that's fine because they are really cheap, like sticks and stones. So literally not a problem. And then you can just use this lever to use it like the TNT Duper it is. And then it will just go down, continue breaking blocks like that. Again, I will come back when I have finished. Also, hopefully I will make a few stops down there and maybe find some diamonds again, because those will be nice to have. So I finished another row, and I just wanted to record me running down there to check for diamonds, just in case I find anything. Now, it's really, like, dangerous down here. There's tons of lava and mobs very frequently that I've, like, pretty much every time I've come down here at all, the mobs just come, like, out of the woodworks and wreck me. I mean, right now they can't really spawn because this is mostly bedrock, but there were a few caves that had not been destroyed yet at this bottom level, and they were just wrecking me. No diamonds this run, though, unfortunately. I got diamonds the one time that I mentioned it, but I wasn't recording. And I'm sure I'll find diamonds like one more time, but that's obviously not my main focus. My main focus is just getting this whole area excavated. And it's going to be like probably 3 rows more, probably a total of 5 rows to get this done. Yeah, I think, well, maybe only 2 rows actually. 2 rows more. Just depends on how good my spacing is. I'm just kind of estimating. I'm not actually measuring or anything. I just want to make sure I'm far enough away from the edges so that I'm not like blowing things and wrecking other people's stuff. And then other than that, I'm not worrying about it much. I also did have a few more explosions over here, so I just wanted to stop that by adding a bit of a column that just kind of blocks the TNT from shooting in that direction. It just falls straight down. It does kind of explode still a little bit underground, but that's not really a problem because I can just fill in those walls or light them up, and the mall will probably be there anyway at some point. So it's just kind of giving me a head start. But I gotta move it one more time, and all I've been doing is taking it from the end here and then moving it all the way back and then a few blocks over. I'm just breaking it down and moving it. There's no reason to try to like push it over there. It's just a little too slow. And then if you try to push it sideways, it turns out that this minecart falls off, and then sometimes this whole setup gets glitched out and like the TNT just falls and explodes. Not ideal. Don't do that. Because then you have to go get more TNT. And I only had like 2 pieces. This is the second piece that I had. So I'm just going to finish moving it over and... oh no. Well, great job, me. Forgot that there was a minecart on that. Well, time to go rescue the minecart. I will finish moving... ooh, that was a lot of damage. I will finish moving this over and doing the last 2 rows, and then hopefully I will be able to come back, get that shown off with any diamonds that I've gained, any other resources, and then I think that'll be the end of the episode after that. Maybe I'll throw in some replay mod shots. You'll just have to wait and see. So I just had a TNT bounce back and explode the duper here, so I think that might put a stop to the progress, at least for today. I did make a fair bit of progress here. I might even just do the rest manually because I do kind of need quite a few blocks and ores. So I got a good distance down and done and completed. I think we might just call it for now with the duper. That being said, I'm really happy with the results so far. This made it really easy. Scorpio was impressed at how quickly this just wrecked the world here, just all the way down to bedrock, except for in the few areas where there was a lava pool. And obviously the TNT can't blow up through lava because lava has a really high blast resistance. But yeah, this is great. I mean, like, tons of work done. This would have taken so much longer otherwise. Now, I've got quite a few more episodes left before the mall is going to be completed, and I know this one's a shorter one. It kind of got a few of the plans that I had for this episode got pushed back just due to some conflicts, and also I probably would have had a little bit more done and recorded if that TNT Duper hadn't blown up, but now I have to go and shred it all by hand, and I don't have time to do that today before this episode needs to go out. So we're just going to have to deal with what we had. I can't wait to get this mall done. I will be working on collecting all the blocks for the exterior soon, which I think you guys are going to like the exterior design. I'm going to hop into a single player world before the end of this episode, like right now while I'm talking, and we can show the design, or at least tease the design for the overall like outside structure of the mall. This was just me testing out this quick change to the duper earlier, but here is the outside of the mall, at least the planned version of the outside of the mall. I may change it up slightly, but I think this is pretty close to what the outside is going to be, and it's like an M shape, which I think is really cool, and it's called Minesomnia. That's the name of the mall. I Also have designed some of the interior here, but not all of it yet. I've still got a little bit of work left to do to figure out how high the hallways are going to be and what the hallways are going to look like, because I don't want them to be boring. And there's also going to be like a varied kind of structure to the bottom. Like the hallways aren't just going to be straight. There's going to be some that like connect into other places, and like I think you'll really like the underground design once I have it mapped out. But for now, this is what you get of the outside. It's going to be really nice. This is all like quartz, and this is black stained glass on the back here, but the front is white stained glass. I think it kind of bleeds into the back somewhere. No, it doesn't actually. It just kind of stops under these stairs. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you liked the video, please throw a like on the video below. Also, go ahead and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos, like to see them all. I know this was a particularly kind of slow, not so much happening in this video, but we've got to make progress on the server, and I want to keep you guys updated with what's happening and some of the cool things that I'm doing to progress. I don't want to just hop to the end. Oh, mall built, there we go. That being said, the last thing I have to ask you to do is to hit that notification bell if you want to see notifications every single time I post a video. I hope you liked it. I know I sure did, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.